Hello, I'm Victor Perez. I'm President and CEO of the Pharr Economic Development Corporation.
And Victor, this is looking as though it's a special day for Pharr. We're at your facility in South Pharr on Dicker Road, and there's just a packed house here for this warehouse summit. I know it's the Bridge Board that's sort of the sponsor, but you're playing a key role as well. How impressed are you with the numbers?
Well, we had worked hard. We have our staff working along with the Bridges staff, putting this together. As you know, the Bridge and the EDC are partners. We're all under the umbrella of the city of Pharr, and so we've done so much in warehousing, cold, dry, and so I know the Bridge travels a lot to Mexico, and we don't have a chance to go out there, so we decided to partner up, and they invite some of their guests and we get some of our guests. So here today you see investors that we work with, bankers, we have loan officers, and of course investors and developers too as well. So it's something that we decided to do together because it's going to benefit the city of Pharr as a whole. Now remember, we've done so much right now. Our produce park, when I first got here, there was maybe a lot or two that had been sold. Out of 31, we sold them all. Now we're thinking of building another produce park, purchasing another 100 acres to do another park because the demand is so high, and so we're trying to do that, and hopefully, when we bring in this business, these developers, of course, we ask them that they got across through the Pharr International Bridge. So we're working together, and it's benefiting both and the bridge as well.
So what we're hearing from the sessions at this summit is there is a lack of warehouse space, or that's a lack of manufacturing space, and that's what you're trying to address with all the discussions going on today.
That's correct. And so we've had it for years. 3 or 4 years ago, we started getting calls. And we started communicating with the landowners here in South Pharr to be able to see if they were willing to sell and get the team together and see, and if we can. So we have a couple of companies right now that are doing 1 million square feet of warehouse. One's already moving dirt, the other one's negotiating the contract and so forth, but we see about 3 or 4 of those coming, so and honestly, it's been a demand that we just can't control. We need warehouses. So I think today, and the people that are there are going to hear a lot of statistics, a lot of data of what is going on in the city of Pharr, and that they know that we need to kind of move on quickly.
Now, I'd like you to just repeat that number. That seemed a huge number. Did you say 1 million square feet?
Yes, sir. 1 million square feet. We have 2 other companies that want to do that right now. That one is already moving dirt. The other 2 were negotiating their contract. Of course, when we say contract, we talk about sales contract. We talk about on the property side of the buying the property, and also the incentive agreement that we do. And we're one of the most generous EDOs in the valley here as when it comes to incentives. That's why we're also so successful, right? And so, and not only that, but we have the land, and we have the great staff that we have at the PDC.
And we've also heard today during the sessions that nearshoring is having an impact. Companies are wanting to move back from China to North America because of the supply chain disruptions that were caused during the pandemic. And if those companies are moving to Mexico, they've got to move their product across a bridge into the US, where many of the consumers are. So is that what is driving this demand for more warehousing and manufacturing?
Yes, sir. So we were in the expo in Monterrey, and it's manufacturing and industrial, and so we're doing great here in the city of Pharr, thanks to our mayor and our city council and our EDC board. We have a good retail. We have a food industry, restaurants coming in. We have a produce park that got sold a lot, and there's the demand for it. But I'm focusing now on the manufacturing and industrial. So we went to this expo in Monterrey. We made some contacts, some really good companies, and we heard about the nearshoring. We heard about that. So Nuevo Leon's governor is going to fund, like he mentioned, about $4 or $7 million of infrastructure to bring these companies in. So China's out of the picture. That's what we heard over there. And so now we need to come in and start focusing on this. We are going to Maryland in a couple of weeks, and that's with Select USA, which are companies that have all these, companies that want to invest not only international, but you're talking in South America, overseas in Australia and so forth. So we're excited to be doing that because I think we have the land, we have the incentives, we have the support of the city council and the mayor that I think we can do, make this happen really soon.
So do you think the Rio Grande Valley is aware of what's coming down the line? Are all the communities prepared for this increased demand?
Well, see, when you mentioned that, I hope they are, and if not, then we are. And I think they're we were in El Paso. We got an award over there in San Antonio, and a lady from El Paso came over and said hi to me and said, we want to take a picture. Congratulations. And she said, we follow you. We follow the CFR. We follow the Pharr EDC. And when you hear people like that, and I've been in Laredo, I've been in Corpus, and they tell me the same thing. But when you see that, gosh, it really feels good, because we're doing a lot of great things that other communities are not doing. And again, it's a leadership. It's that we have all the resources, and of course I'm excited because it's not only here, but on the Mexican side, you can hear what Pharr is doing. So
another aspect that is obviously going to impact your work at on the Economic Development Corporation is the City of Pharr's decision to invest in broadband, 1 gigabyte internet availability to both residents and businesses. Is that a good economic tool for you? Do you think you're going to get more businesses asking to locate to Pharr because of that?
Right. And the mayor, very visionary again. I keep mentioning the mayor. He's an awesome mayor, an awesome individual. We talked about this, and we had done a pilot program with PSISD and the CDFR and the Federal Bank, Reserve Bank, and we did a pilot program where we did, I think it was 9 or 13 families, and we found out that we couldn't, those students, and look what happened afterwards, the pandemic, right? But back then, before pandemic, we had already done a study. We had already thought about this, and so when we found out that the need was there and all that, we started thinking, okay, what do we need to do? And then we ended up that the mayor and I were in a meeting, and this came up, and there was somebody that knew somebody had done a project like this way up in the East Coast, and we started this, and now you see other communities trying to do their thing, but we're doing it here, and it's impacting our community, our students, our schools, our businesses, and that's a plus. That's I guess it's a plus to us when you have that, so that's an added value, as we say, to our business when we attract them. And some already know, some already heard about it, so it's good because they use a lot of that, because they have a lot of computers, equipment where they communicate with their it's a trucking company or it's a company somewhere in Mexico. They need it, so it's been a big plus.
Well, you can't have these huge manufacturing plants, semiconductor plants, etc., without the very fast, high speed, because the robots are going to talk to each other.
That's right. And now with new technology and modern technology, I was talking to my wife the other day that she's a school teacher, and she said the kids test it, and all through their books, iPads. There's no more paper and pencil. There's nothing like that. So this is the direction we're going, and we're prepared and we're ready.
So can I ask, have you had any inquiries yet of businesses saying, I want to be in the valley, but Pharr seems attractive to me because you've got that edge on other communities with the high speed?
Yes, we have, and it's good when you hear that, because that means that we have been exposed and people know, and the businesses know how important it is that they have this type of fast internet. So
well, those are all the questions I had, Victor. If I missed anything out, is there any other work you're doing that you want to tell the viewers about? We're
going to bring in a couple of restaurants in the north side of Pharr. I'm hoping on a couple of retailers that should be coming. Hopefully we're negotiating, we're sitting down with the landowner and them. Hopefully we make that come true. But basically right now the focus has been on South Pharr, and so we're going to continue working now in the North Pharr and working on our retail, working on our food industry, and hopefully maybe a hotel here and there. But we're working hard. So
Victor Perez, Executive Director, or actually President of the Economic Development Corporation of Pharr, thank you so much for today's interview.
Thank you, Steve. Anytime.